Camera speeding, and...
Dear friend, everything changed for us in December 2019, and we watched as the world was taken over by the COVID-19 pandemic. So many of us musicians have felt lost, unmotivated and isolated during these times. We lost our sense of drive as we could not share our passions with each other and with our beloved audiences. We thrive off of human connections, and living life on our screens was not at all what we thought we had signed up for, even if only temporary. Not being able to see teachers face to face, play in our chamber groups, be amongst friends in an orchestra, or, most importantly, not being able to perform to an audience. The list could go on. It's been difficult, to say the least. Returning to in-person distanced learning, it feels a bit funny, and we have to adjust. For years we've learned how to rehearse together and perform. We know the drill, and yet somehow things are different and don't feel quite the same just yet. Naturally, there are many challenges of distancing, therefore having to develop and focus our listening skills even more. It feels as though we are widening our radars and improving our flexibility as musicians. In effect, we will be better prepared for unexpected scenarios. Wearing masks whilst playing is also uncomfortable, but a small compromise is an easy choice in order to play together. For some, confidence levels are back at square one, although for others, some have been able to hide their lockdown insecurities. We've had to figure out how to play in bigger spaces and performance halls again after consecutive days practicing in our bedrooms, the same monotonous box practice room. How am I meant to sound again? A question we found ourselves asking. Rehearsals have become more emotional, tears being held back, and that isolated feeling has begun to fade as we begin to remember why we chose our musical paths. Getting back into performing and being in concert, on stage again, has been incredibly heartwarming and so special. We feel so much more gratitude for this moment we have been waiting over a year for. Perhaps a tear of joy is finally shed, smiles shared between the desk partners in an orchestra, as well as between the performers and the audience members, catching each other's eyes, taking it all in. We'll never take this for granted again. Music is a universal language, bringing together different types of people and from different parts of the world. Overall, it brings us closer through this shared interest, and being able to connect and communicate through playing together and for one another. It can serve as a form of escapism for some, or add vibrance and colour, be an outlet for emotions and a way to express ourselves artistically. Although it has been difficult for us musicians, the lockdown has sparked creativity and pushed our boundaries, thinking of innovative ways to reach our online audiences during the pandemic. Music has been a friend to rely and fall back on, maybe an old friend to rediscover that was forgotten but that we're glad was there and will always be there for us. So, how are we meant to sound now? We're all trying to remember what being a musician was like before the pandemic. We're still finding ourselves again, and still recovering. We have some distance to go, but we can be hopeful of normality in the near future. For now, we just need to let the music speak for itself.
Being a fellow at the Music Academy of the West this summer has been an amazing experience, and I feel an overwhelming feeling of gratitude for being here. I feel as though I'm amongst some of the most amazing musicians, faculty, and administration that I have encountered, and have made memories I will cherish for years to come. As a note to end on, I'd like to dedicate this to my compeers and friends, Susie and Ted Cronin, as for without their support and keen interest in classical music, I wouldn't have been able to have had this incredible experience at the Music Academy. So, thank you, and thank you for watching.